think like a bank first before we can go and ask a bank for a loan. Because a lot of people think getting a 300,000 to 400 to 500,000, even 600 to $1 million home is them purchasing a house. You getting a $60,000 car is you purchasing your car. No, that's not you purchasing your car, nor your home, nor your house. That is you obtaining a loan from a bank, because the moment you stop paying those things, guess what? That home goes away, that car goes away, and the banks come take it. What's going on, you guys? My name is Des Howard. In today's video, you're going to be learning on how to go from zero to hero with your credit. If you have bad credit, or if you're a business owner that's looking to get funding, whether it's a home, whether it's lines of credit for your business, and whether it's just have extra capital on the side, and you're tired of people gatekeeping this information from you, this is the video and this is the YouTube you want to be on. So I appreciate you guys for being here. So like, comment, subscribe if you learned anything from this video here today. For you guys that are here and that's new here today, my name is Des Howard. I own a company called Elite Credit Solutions. What we do, we help build people credit from zero to hero very, very fast and very untraditional, because a lot of people have been scarred in this credit repair game and also this funding game. And so we, in that second part of things, we help business obtain up to $50,000 to $150,000 in 0% interest funding. So I help countless and thousands of individuals fix their credit from low as 397 to 730 with this exact method, what you're going to learn here today. So if you are a business owner, or if you are a regular person that just want to be able to get into that dream home or the dream car, this is the video for you. So we're going to hop into the screen and we're going to talk about how to build up your credit report. Let's hop into it really quick. The first things first is what I like to talk about is what makes up a strong credit profile. A lot of people don't understand how banks think. So the first thing I like to do is, you got to understand, a lot of people do not understand the fact of the matter is banks have personalities too, and banks do judge you. And it's not based off your skin color. It's not based on how tall you are, how much you weigh, or anything like that. Banks judge you based off your credit structure of your profile. And what we got to do is learn how to think like a bank first before we can go and ask a bank for a loan. Because a lot of people think getting a 300,000 to 400 to 500,000, even 600 to $1 million home is them purchasing a house. You getting a $60,000 car is you purchasing your car. No, that's not you purchasing your car, nor your home, nor your house. That is you obtaining a loan from a bank. Because the moment you stop paying those things, guess what? That home goes away, that car goes away, and the banks come take it, because they want their money and you did not pay for this stuff cash. So a lot of you guys are trying to figure out and learn and how to leverage your credit to be in better situations, or you're trying to understand why you're getting denied and your credit score is saying 700 plus, and they said you just need a 700 plus, and you think you need an 800 to get to that next level. So I'm going to eliminate, and I'm going to tell you everything that every credit guru do not want to tell you, because they're going to lose money. Me, I've helped thousands and made millions in this industry. So I really want to help you guys get to the next level with building up your credit. So as you can see on my screen, the first thing first is what I like to talk about is there's no difference between business credit and personal credit. And a lot of people do not understand what I mean by that, because you got to understand that there is ways for you to be able to only obtain business credit solely on your EIN number. And that's what through cash flow. And that's 2 years of tax returns, and you can do it and build your credit up with different trade lines. But a lot of you guys are not here to wait 2 years to build up your credit. You're trying to figure out how to do it now. Now, the misconception is when it comes to banks is that banks don't look at your personal credit. I can have a bad credit score and get funding. Wrong, right? If you are LLC entity, or like a S corp, C corp, so whatever you are, when you go apply for funding, the banks want to know. Like they'll say, "Hey, I want to give you, $50,000. I want to give you $100,000, but I want to know who owns this business, and I want to know who am I getting into bed with." So in this video, you're gonna learn how to think like the banks and how to build your credit, because we're gonna build the credit up so that the banks think that you're the most replicable person. And also you're going to build it up because you're going to be the most regular person when you build it up, to be able to be lended to for 50 to $150,000 in funding. They can go from business credit cards, they can go from auto loans, all different types of things. I help friends do this. I have family members do this. I also have done this for myself. So I would never tell you guys something that I personally have not done. So by you being here already puts you 10 steps ahead of the next person next to you. And if you're in the bidding war, chances are you're gonna win. I always like to say that because as long as you have an 800 credit score, a 750 credit score, you can always go to banks. You'll never run out of banks because you understand how they think. So let's talk about it, right? The misconception of business credit and personal credit is that they always are going to look at your personal credit. And when you're doing to build your business credit up, traditionally you would have to get trade lines like Uline and things like that, which is like office supplies, where you have to get net 30s and net 90s, and you have to let those trade lines build up over time. After 2 years, you can go have an 80 paydex score, which is your credit score is on your business side, and then you can start going for bigger lines of credit and try to increase those over time. But who wants to make money slow or get money slow? No one. That's the reason you're in this video. So because you're in this video, I'm going to show you how to personal guarantor business credit, also fixing up your personal credit a little bit more, because we're going to focus on that for a little bit as well, so that you can build business credit super, super fast. But we're going to, in the process, we're going to teach you the step-by-step process on how to build up your credit score. But first things first, let's think like the bank so that banks aren't judging us the wrong way and they can judge us the correct way. Now, first things first, what makes up a strong credit profile versus a weak one? They said statistically shown that the oldest account on most people's report are their student loans. Everybody goes to school, and that's like the first thing. A lot of people are taught that credit is bad because most people that's teaching you that don't know how to use credit, or they're misusing credit for the wrong things. And everybody goes down the rabbit hole where they get credit and they use it as income at some point in time, and they try to put their fears on you to not use it, because you actually can use this to scale businesses, or you actually can use this to be able to get approved for your first home or your first car, whatever you want. So if you're a person here, we're going to talk about how to build up the business credit, and we're going to talk about how to build the personal credit, which revolves a lot around the personal credit. So the oldest account is your student loans. And a lot of people don't understand that, and they're like, yeah, there's like, I do have a lot of student loans. Like, this is crazy. What I want to show you, let's jump right in it. What I want to show you is, a lot of people don't understand this. The first thing you need to understand is, thinking like a bank, is that there's 6 factors of credit when it comes to it. Banks judge you based off these 6 factors. Okay, understand that. Banks will judge me. You guys can write that down. Banks will judge me based off these 6 factors of credit, and if these things are not intact, guess what is going to happen? It's going to automatic denial. It's going to be automatic denial. So my point here is to help you with this. So the first factor of credit is your credit utilization, right? A lot of people don't understand this and how this works. We're going to talk a little bit about this later, but I just want to go through this really quick. The second factor is your payment history. Me and my business partner, we always make this joke. We say, if you were a bank and my life depended on it, who am I lending money to? Someone who has 100% on time payments, or someone who has 50% on time payment? And it's a no-brainer. You're going to lend to the person that's 100% guaranteed to pay you back. So some of us may have missed payments. Some of us may have utilization through the roof. Some of us 110%. I didn't see 130% just today. Somebody had 130% utilization. But it's okay. I'm going to teach you how to fix all that, and we'll teach you some tricks and things, how to get to the next level with those things as well. So the number one factor of credit is your utilization. The second one is your payment history. You need to have on-time payments. The third factor is derogatory remarks. What is derogatory remarks, and what falls under that category? That is collections. That is bankruptcies. If you have ever had a bankruptcy before, any judgment against your credit, those are evictions, repossessions, hospital bills that we didn't consider real bills. Yeah, that goes under collection. It hurts your credit score if you don't pay those bills, because I understand, I come from a place where, those hospital bills were free, or that was something supposed to be free, but obviously we get charged for it and we get collections for it. But that's all the things that falls under derogatory marks. Now, the fourth factor of credit is the credit age. Right? When it comes to credit age, a lot of people don't understand it. So a lot of you guys are going to apply, and maybe get approved for a $300 credit card from Capital One, or a $300 credit card from Discover. And for you guys that don't know, Capital One bought out Discover and they own Discover. So it's the same company. Some of you guys are getting those, and those are first friendly. When you're first starting on a credit, those are the people who would trust in you first. They'll pretty much approve to everybody. You can't possibly get a deny for them if your credit's bad enough. So trust me, I've been there before. And if you're there, I'm going to help you get there. I'm going to help you get past that. Okay. Now, the fifth factor of credit is the total amount of accounts, right? And what falls under this category, it can be credit cards, auto loans, mortgages, and personal loans as well, which is also considered student loans as well as considered a personal loan. If you guys didn't know that. And the last one is hard inquiries. We're going to talk a little bit about all of these things, right? Hard inquiries is how many times you apply for credit within the last 90 days or within the last 2 years, because hard inquiry stays on your credit report for the next 2 years. I like to give an example. This one is like car insurance. You pay for car insurance for just in case, like just in case you get in an accident. And what happens is the moment you use it, your premium goes up and you get penalized for it. So when we're going to apply for, and I always like to tell my clients this, and the people that I'm teaching and coaching as well, is that when it comes to these hard inquiries, if we're going to get a hard inquiry, which means we're going to ask the bank for credit or we're going to ask the bank for a loan or whatnot, we might as well go get the maximum amount. And so I need you guys to be able to think like a bank. Banks just judge you based off of these 6 things, which is your credit utilization, your payment history, your derogatory marks, your credit age, your total amount of accounts, and your hard inquiries. So now that you understand and know that, how do we fix that, Des? Like, I'm not trying to listen to another video where people sell me on something that doesn't make sense. If you stay here the whole time, you're going to learn something. You're going to learn that this stuff is very strategic and it's constantly changing and growing every time. But I'm going to teach you how to be in a more strategic way where you almost always get approved. If you guys looking at the screen, what I want to go over, this is the first thing that we talked about, right? So your credit cards usage, right? You got to understand a couple different things, right? The one thing you have to understand is your due date and your reporting date. And a lot of people do not understand this because, and it shows on their credit report. It's not that you are bad with credit. It's not that you don't make money to pay your stuff off. It's not that you're doing bad things. Some of us are. Like, some of us are buying a Gucci, Louis, and doing all this stuff for credit when we should be investing and trying to do things to, better ourselves and better our health, wealth, and relationships. So here's the two things. Understand your due date. The due date means that's the day that your card is due, which means if I miss this payment, it's going to be bad for me. So I have to pay the bill by this time. It's the same thing as rent. You got to pay the bill by the 1st or the 4th, right? So you got to pay the bill by the 1st or the 1st. For example, your due date may be the 2nd of the month, which means that's the time that you pay the credit card, so it can be considered an on-time payment. Okay. Now, the reporting date, it differs per card. You guys can call your specific bank on the back of your card and ask them, what is my due date? And they're going to tell you a due date, and you ask my reporting date. Reporting date is sometimes also referred to as statement end date. So you can ask the banks, what is my reporting date? Or if they don't understand that, you can say, what is my statement end date? Because a lot of these reps that you call in, they're not trained. Everything that I'm teaching right here, reps aren't even getting trained on this, but it actually exists. I had the headquarters of different banks call me and talk to me about certain things like this because I've been in the industry so long and I've been able to help thousands of people do this stuff. Okay. Now, your reporting date is typically 3 to 5 days after your due date. What does that mean? Y'all be like, yo, I paid my card off on the 2nd, but my score ended up going down. I didn't understand why. And it's because you paid it off on the 2nd and then you start using it the 3rd when it reported that you paid it. And then your reporting date was the 5th. And so by the 5th, you racked up a new balance. And then that's what reports to the credit bureau. So the reporting date is just when the banks report to the credit bureaus or how much utilization that you're having. So a lot of people are sold on, if you get a credit card in a bank account, you can pay it off right when you use it and you can gain points and rewards and things of that nature, which is true. You can gain points and rewards, but credit is built 30 days at a time because there's a such thing as a due date and there's a such thing as a reporting date. So after your reporting date, you can use as much credit line as you want as long as it's paid off before the reporting date. That's the utilization is going to report. For example, on your due date, you had $1,000 credit line and you paid $1,000 off, and then you decided on the next day to use $300, or let's say $600 on an expense. You want to use $600 on an expense. What that means is now the 5th has came around and that $600 balance is on there. So it's going to report to the credit bureaus that you had a 60% utilization, but you're like, dang, I paid it off. Why did it go down? And then you start to get frustrated because you don't understand credit and you think people are trying to get over on you, but you just didn't understand what the difference of a due date and a reporting date. But now you do. The due date is when your payment is due. The reporting date is when the bank reports your usage to the credit bureaus. And that's what shows up on your credit profile on Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And we'll get into that a little bit later about the difference between Experian and the difference between like Credit Karma. Credit Karma is free. They use your Vantage score, and then Experian is paid. You can use the free version for one, but you can use all three for paid. They report your FICO score. So it's two different scores. It's like weighing yourself in pounds or kilograms. It's no real difference. It's just these payment histories and credit card utilizations are weighted different on different platforms. So the next thing next, right, is your payment history. We was definitely gonna go into how your payment history is. So the only way that you can do with payment history is pay your shit on time. I like to tell people this all the time. Pay your shit on time. And how you can do this is by setting up auto pays and not spending more than you make. Not spending now and say, oh, I get paid on Friday, and then Friday new bills and things happen. Because I always tell people this, like when you save for a rainy day almost always comes. And then it's also, if you pre-spend money before you get it, you will never have money. So pay your shit on time and never spend more than you have. Now, if you're a person, you're in a position where you did and you have missed payments, I understand that life and stuff happens. If you're a person that happens to, what you can do is get it removed. Like I said, my company's name is Elite Credit Solutions. We do credit repair and funding. So we prepare people in credit repair for funding, whether that's for a car, house, home, or even a business. You can get that stuff removed. Legally, you can get anything removed from your credit report. So if you didn't know that, I hope I'm teaching you something and being able to help you get to the next level with that. Now, the next thing is the derogatory remarks. I always tell this, pay your shit on time. Derogatory means to a bank that at one point in time, somebody lended you money and trusted you with money and you just didn't pay them back. The next steps is getting that stuff removed. It's very simple, right? It's very simple when it comes to these things, right? It's a non-negotiable. If you want to go ahead and get car loans and with good interest rates where people are getting at 1 to 3% or 5% interest rates on homes, all of these different things, this is where it is built and being judged by the bank when you say, hey, I submit my application. Now, the next thing is your credit history. It's only two ways you can get credit history. You have credit and you've done good with your credit for a very long period of time, or you've added trade lines, which means you piggyback off someone else's reports. And it's for some of you guys that don't understand what trade lines are, it's very, very simple. For example, if I have a $10,000 credit card that I have for 10 years, I add you as an authorized user onto that card. What that does for you is it allows you to piggyback on your credit report. What that does is it gives you my credit age, it gives you my credit utilization, and it gives you my on-time payments for those 10 years as well. And so, for example, if you had one credit card, if you're new to credit, you had one credit card and you added my 10-year authorized user account on it, it would average your age out to, so it'd be pretty much 10 years divided by 2. Basically, it'd be 5 years worth of history. So they'll jump your credit score between 30 to 50 points. Right? It's simple. Very, very, very simple. But a lot of people haven't been told this stuff because credit repair companies and these gurus try to hide this stuff from you because they make money from this. Listen, I don't make money from this video. I genuinely want to help you guys, and I genuinely hope this help you guys. So if it is helping you guys, I want you guys to leave, really, really good comments below, or actually drop questions of the next video I should drop to be able to help y'all get to this next level in your credit game. The next thing is the credit mix and the total amount of accounts. I have my own way of doing the build out. Everybody's credit report is totally different because we come from different backgrounds and different things. We have different things in our report. We also have good credit, but it may not be as strong. In this video, we're going to go over that into detail on like what my build out is and the basic things that I teach and help people with when it comes to build outs. And we'll go over that next after we go over the hard inquiries, right? So hard inquiries, I always tell people stop applying for shit. And then the number one thing I always tell people that, especially when you're going to get a car, it's the difference between needing something and wanting something. The banks see that you need bread or need money in general. What they're going to do is deny you, because if you need money, chances are you're expecting me to give you money to get you out of a situation. And now if you're needing money to get you out of a situation, you're going to be in another situation because you're not going to be able to pay me back. So I'm not going to take the risk on you because you look thirsty. So having more than 3 inquiries on your credit report makes you look thirsty. And what I mean by that is TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. You got to have 3 inquiries or less. One of the things I want to tell you guys to stop doing is stop going into the dealership and letting them run your credit. Why, Daz? Why am I telling you to tell these people to stop going into the dealership and running your credit? Because what you guys go in there, you guys say, oh, I want to see what I can get approved for. And they ask you this specific question. They said, well, how much you willing to pay per month? So they try to send you through every different lender to get you around what you want to pay, no matter what the interest is. And some of you guys, for a $20,000 car, you end up paying about $60,000. So you might as well have got a $60,000 car because the interest is so bad because you just wanted to pay $300 a month. So what you can do is you can go to your local bank when you have good credit and you have the structure profile that we talked about earlier, and you can ask them for a pre-approval or ask them to run your credit one time and you get that pre-approval or you get that auto loan, and then you go into the dealership and you actually have negotiating power because they're just trying to get you approved for whatever they can get you approved for. They can sell you a car. Their name of their game is sell you a car. Your goal is to keep your credit good and clean, because if long as your credit good and clean, you can always go and get business credit because it's dependent on it. And we'll go deeper into like, and maybe in another video on like how to PG and how to do all of those different things with your personal credit and why keeping it clean is very, very important. But I just want to really show you how to build up your credit because these are the things you need to know before I give you this basic build out, because I don't want you just going and adding random things and just say, oh, I want my score to go up, because your score can be high, but like it's no point of having a good credit score if you're not using it to invest. That's just my opinion. Because you tell me a person with an 800 credit score, that means they were super strict with their credit for a very, very long time and doing things in a certain way. And now they're too scared to go to the next level with investing and doing things, because people with anything between a 700 and 800 credit score, you can get up to 400 to 500 to almost to $1 million in 0% interest funding. All you guys have $1 million dreams and $1 million ideas, but the problem is that you don't have the structure and the know-how to go get it. And I'm telling you the structure right now with the credit report to get your credit fixed, one, or if you do, how to think like a bank so that you can go get those like lines of credit and business loans, and you can go buy that car wash, that laundromat, that house, and start into real estate and all these different things. So this is why I kind of got into the credit space and been in the credit space for a while and helped a lot of different individuals, because once you learn this and once you understand this and your credit get to this point to where you're getting like a 750 plus, what ends up happening is that the world unlocks for you and things start to unlock from you, and you start to see things from a different light, and you start making money and investing into things that you wouldn't normally invest into, you because you start using OPM, which is what we talk about is other people's money. So that's really the real spill on how your credit should be structured to be able to banks for them to lend you. If you have all of those things, and I'm gonna go back up because this person right here was one of my clients and they had an 800 credit score. In order to obtain, and I'm gonna give you guys this quick gem and we'll go deeper into it in another video. But in order to obtain $50,000 to $150,000 in 0% interest funding, what you need to have is 10% utilization. You need to have 100% on time payments. You need to have 0 derogatory marks. You need to have 4 to 5 years credit age. You need to have 8 to 12 positive accounts that's 100% on time paid. And you need to have 3 inquiries and below for them to be able to approve you for lines of credit. And I'm showing you this because this is something that we can do for you, and it's something that you can go do for yourself. The problem with doing it for yourself is simply that you don't have the banking relationships like my company has from years of being in this industry. They are going to give you like a $2,000 limit rather than a $20,000 limit. So if you want this all done for you, you can also that'll be like book a call down below. And the last thing is last, and I'll save this for last because it's the best thing possible, is I'm going to show you one of my secret sites on how you can build this stuff out for yourself specifically, based off of what I just taught you about what you're needing to be funding ready. Okay. So one of my favorite sites, if you still can see my screen, is Credit Strong. Okay. It's called Credit Strong, right? Credit Strong is a credit building account. They have multiple products and I love their products. I really stamped this website because it took one of my friends from a 500 credit score, which I may put him up or below, I may not, but if it took one of my friends from a 500 credit score to a 730, less than 6 months. He had derogatories. Didn't have any credit history. He was new to credit. And now he's sitting at a 730. He was able to get his dream car, being able to get multiple lines of credit, being able to invest into his business, spend $5,000 a week just growing his business, just using OPMs. And a lot of you guys are like, well, that's still debt. I don't want to use debt. Well, I'm gonna tell you this, and I like to give this example because a lot of people like to get in real estate because they think it is the best thing. And I generally have a different view on it. I think you got to have a lot of money to be in real estate. And if you don't have a lot of money, you're not gonna make money, right? In the entrepreneur world, in a business sense, making $1,000 a month with a lot of risk is not a lot of money. What I mean by that is some people, with homes, what they do is get a home and then you put renters in it and then you make $1,000 a month. And then a lot of people try to argue, well, you can write off certain things and you can do all of this. But it's like, if you don't have money, you're trying to make money. You need to make money fast so that that passive income can make sense. $1,000 a month won't change your life. You need to go get big rental properties and things where you're making $20,000, $30,000 a month passively. Now that's a life changing situation to where you may can retire or you may can set something up for your kids or whatever it may be. But let's hop back into this. We'll save that for another video. And you guys let me know what questions you want answered behind that. We can get into all of that. But when it comes to Credit Strong, I really stamp this and I really love this because it helps individuals, including myself. I would never tell you guys to do anything that I did not do myself. So the first thing first, I love this one more so than anything, which they're looking out for you guys. When it comes to Credit Strong, I always tell all my clients to get this one, right? The pro account, but I always tell it's based off of budget. I tell anybody to have between a 300 to 500 budget to do any of this because you can mix and match them. All of them would be great. But what I do not recommend is you just buy one here and then go get another one, because what happens is you add multiple accounts onto your report. You want to add them all at once so they can age at the same time. Because when you add new accounts, in order for it not to be considered a new account anymore, it has to age for 90 to 120 days for the credit bureaus to not consider that a new account anymore. And what happens is when you add a bunch of new accounts, it pushes you back 4 to 6 months to going to get funding, whether that's auto loan, credit cards, business credit, or anything. So when I tell people to do a build out, I tell them to get all of these things at once strategically based off of their budget. And I'm going to suggest what I do and what I tell people, and I'll tell you flip and flop a little bit, just so that you can have an idea in the range if you have anywhere between the $500 budget or $5,000 budget, because it's multiple things you can do with the $5,000 budget and multiple things you can do with a $1,000 budget, but it might be at a lower scale. Okay. So I want to show you my favorite one is the pro account. What happens is if you buy this for $250 a year, which it makes more sense to do, and add $25 a month to them into the account, every 3 months, it bumps you up to a credit limit of $500. And what does that do? Well, Des, you're not getting an inquiry when you get this account. This is just, pay to play type of account. So, and what they do is they'll allow you to get 2 of these. This will report to your credit report as like a line of credit for $5,000. So it's showing the other banks that banks are trusting you with money. And only thing you're doing is just putting $25 a month into a savings account, which you can get back if you ever cancel it. And you can, every 3 months, they allow you to make a withdrawal up to like $200. You can make a withdrawal. They may change it to like 100, whatever it may be, depending on how much money you're putting in. You can take out at least the 100 to $200 every 3 months if you want it. But if you want it all at once, you'd have to close the account and they'll give you your money back within like 3 to 5 business days. But I would keep this like honestly forever, because every 3 months they bump you up a credit limit of $500 without having to ask for a limit increase or get increase on your credit report. Now, you can get up to 2 of these. So I would mix and match. So I tell all my clients to get 2 of these in their report. Now, if you don't have the budget, they'll let you do $25 a month. They'll let you do $15 a month for a $1,000 one that reports, and the highest it goes up is $2,500. The highest this one go up is $5,000. This one starts at $5,000, and the highest it goes up at $10,000. To each his own based on your budget. You can get 2 of those. So let's say we got 2 of those. Right? That's 2 accounts that we added to our reports. Remember I said you need 8 to 12. And then I always tell people get this installment account. It shows like you have a revolving credit on your credit report and revolving loans, because a lot of people don't think like, why would I get loans? Well, the banks want to see that you have loans and rental history and all of these different things so that they can lend you larger amount of money. Just letting you know that. This one I like because it's a revolve account. I think it's like $15 to just get started. And then you pay $28 a month, and it'll stay on your report for 48 months. After 48 months, you get back all the money, which is $1,010 that you saved over the months. And if you cancel at any time, you'll get all your money back. It's just, if you go through the full thing, they'll give you all your money back. You just don't get the activation fee back. That's it. Very, very dope. So we get 1 of those, which will put us at 3 accounts, right? Then we hop into this, which I like to call the Magnum. This is depending on if you have a bigger budget. This is like if you're looking to go get a bigger auto loan and you don't have auto loan history and you don't want to just go buy a car. What I would do is, oh dang, they even have smaller ones now. Dang, this is crazy. So now they have $1,000 ones for $16 a month. Now they have a $30 one for $2,000 a month that reports, and $55 for $4,000. I used to always tell my clients this used to be $110. I used to have this one. I should tell all my clients to, you get this one, keep it for 6 months, and you can cancel and you'll get all your money back. You just won't get the activation fee back. And then it'll report on your credit report that you just had a loan and paid off a $10,000 or $25,000 loan within 4 to 6 months, and your credit score bumps up 30 to 50 points. So we got 2 revolve accounts, we got one installment account, and we got one Magnum account. You can get 2 of each of their products, but this is total 4 accounts. I just want to show you this. Now, the next thing is, it's like I want you to start building. If you have like a credit union like Navy Federal, I always tell people get Navy Federal. If you don't have it and you can't get it, it's fine. You can use Discover, or you can use Capital One secured credit card. And this one does give you an inquiry when it comes to it. So I'm not making this stuff up. I'm doing this as we go, like, so that you guys can know that like I'm being transparent with you guys, right? You can get a secured credit card from Capital One, right? You can get a secure credit card. It's gonna say, see if you're eligible. Everyone gets approved. The minimum you can put down towards that is literally $200. And then you keep that for some time being, so it's showing that you have primary accounts. And keep in mind, all these accounts is going to show up in your name, so that way you don't go get a bunch of authorized users in there someone else's name. Banks do see that now. It used to be where if you did get those primary authorized users, they used to show up as primaries, but banks stopped that. They caught on to that. So I'm showing you how to build your stuff up with primary accounts without getting inquiries. So you might have just got one inquiry for that. Let's just review really quick, right? We went and got 2 revolve accounts, which is 2 accounts. We went and got 1 installment account, got 1 Magnum account. Okay. So that put us at 4 accounts. The 5th account that we're going to end up getting is a secured credit card. So 2 revolve, 1 installment, 1 Magnum, 1 secured credit card. If you have Navy Federal, we can mix in pledge loans, which is a different ball game. If you don't have it, we'll talk about it in the next video. But then you can come to us, which we offer trade lines for anyone. You can go purchase 2 trade lines. We'll put you at 7 total accounts. Now, that's if you had 0 things on your credit report. The oldest account most people have on there are student loans. Now, I just showed you how to build your credit report out with 7 different primary accounts. Now, if we need that 8th one, we'll just end up getting 2 Magnesium accounts or 2 installment accounts. And that'll put us at a total of 8. So I just showed you how to build your credit specifically. I showed you how to build your credit specifically with 1 site plus the Capital One. Listen, guys. I know this video is very, very valuable. 1, because I have a lot of people that give me reviews, and a lot of people that I've literally seen their score goes from like 400, 500 to 700 to, we're not even 700, 750 plus. And these people have been able to get homes, cars, lines of credit, and things of that nature. If you do exactly what I'm telling you and exactly what I'm talking about, it's no doubt that in the next 30 to 90 days, that your score don't jump up 60 to 150 points. Okay. Now, if you guys are interested and you guys are wanting like my company to like do a evaluation over your credit profile so that we can see where you at, or even do this build out for you, because we do this build out for individuals, there will be a link below. You can book a call below with my team, and what we'll do is go over your credit report and build this out specifically for you to tell you exactly what you need. Now, there is fees associated with us doing it for you, which is why we gave this this game for you for free. You can do it yourself, but I do highly recommend, if you do it yourself, please don't do it all at different times. Do it all at once so that your score can make a drastic jump and all the accounts can age at once. And then you add those trade lines on towards the end, and then we send you off to funding. So if you are a person that came here that was looking to be able to get funding and be funding ready, this is the way to do it. And then maybe you're like, hey, Des, I watched this whole video. I didn't learn anything. That's okay. You can comment below and let me know that as well. And you're like, yo, I'm genuinely just interested in your company, and I'm genuinely interested in how you can give me $50,000 to $150,000. I also want you guys to look down below and actually book that call and let my team do a consultation with your credit report. So that we can actually, help you go to the next level and help you with your credit report so that you can be our next success story. So for you guys that don't know me, my name is Des Howard, and that's my spiel today with teaching you guys how to build up your credit profile. Comment below. Please like, subscribe to this video, and comment below what you thought and what you learned from this video. I appreciate you guys, and that's my time, and I'll see you guys in the next video, and let me know your next topic of what you want me to actually speak about. Peace out.